computer. Let's see how we go. Alrighty. Well, thank you to everyone for coming to our little snack class today. It is has a focus on children, but it is absolutely, we've chosen snacks that could absolutely go into anyone's lunchbox, or it's something that you can definitely grab out of the fridge if you are busy, a snack, whatever it might be. Things that you can just grab, things that you can freeze, and of course using our Thermomixes, which we all love, to make the task super easy. Now, we know you're all owners, so we're not going to go into the ins and outs. It's more about giving you all the ideas that we have found to be, that we love in our kitchens, and something that you can definitely make in yours. So we're going to do it. We're aiming for 45 minutes. Let's see if we can do 6 things in 45. Thanks, Amanda, and we'll see if we can get them made in no time at all. Alrighty, so we've got Meg, who is Renee as well, who are part of my fabulous team, the Mighty Mixers, and they're joining in today as well. So it'll be fabulous. Renee is going to start off with some muffins, and she'll tell you all about it. Go for it, Renee.
Good afternoon, all. So I'm actually going to do some ham and cheese quinoa muffins. I have done these before for the girls. I have 2 children. I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and a bit of a fussy hubby, but everyone loves these, and they're jam-packed full of pretty healthy things and things that are staples that I find in our pantries and fridges. So I'll show you a few things that I've adapted, just because we're a COVID house at the moment too, so we couldn't get out and get everything, but I'll show you how I've just adapted a few things so you can easily do it with what's around in the kitchen. So let's get started. Here we go. So preheating your oven to 180 degrees. Today I'm actually going to be using, if you haven't seen these, jump on the wagon. They are the silicone trays. They're soft. Everything pops out, and there's no need to prep them in any way. So no sprays, no butters, no oils, and they wash up really easy, and it just saves a little bit of money when it comes to that prep process. So you can grab them at the mix shop.
Renee, what were the names of the muffins? Just from Maria on Cookie Do. What was the actual?
The actual name is ham and cheese quinoa muffins.
Ham and cheese quinoa muffins. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a good one for us too. But you know, I'm obsessed with those silicone trays. So every single silicone product that is on Mix Shop, I've pretty much own. And they are. Vicky, have you got some? Yeah. Do you love them too?
Yeah. I've just, as I said, I've been away for 3 weeks and I didn't take my Thermomix with me. So, and I have been missing, I've been missing the fact that I've been cooking. So this is really good to get me back into it. But yeah, I do love them. The muffin trays are amazing. They're so easy to clean. They pop out really well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I used to hate scrubbing, and you end up with bits and bobs that are stuck to your trays. You don't have that problem with the silicone. I can definitely say that since I've converted.
I've been known to throw them out. If I can't get it off, I've thrown it out. I'm like, no, over it, can't do it, throw it out. Now the silicone, fine.
And you're done.
And it's so good for slices as well, like the mini loaf silicone trays. They're amazing. I use the slices, and then they're just individual. You don't have to cut it up as well.
Definitely agree with that. I was going to make these into the little loaves today, but I thought I've already got a heap of loaf things in the freezer, so I thought a different shape for the kids might keep them. So as we're all owners, I've already pre-blitzed my cheese. So it asks for 100 grams of cheddar cheese. I use Tasty. That was what was in the cupboard, in the fridge, sorry. Then it asks for Parmesan. So I'm just not going to have that richness in the product. Again, didn't have Parmesan, forgot to order it on the online order. So I just added 40 grams of the cheese. So I've just added extra cheese, so I still get that cheesy flavor. So that's here, ready to go. As we know, that's our grated cheese. So we'll skip along. The next one was, I didn't want to bore you for 20 minutes watching the quinoa cook. I pre-steamed my quinoa, so that's ready to go in there. If you've never steamed quinoa or boiled it, I guess, because it's in the steam basket, it turns out really lovely. And it's much better than I've experienced on the stove top. So 130.
Quinoa's really hard to get perfect. It can be like it's either not cooked. The liquid has to be like the perfect amount on the stove. Absolutely hated making it prior to the Thermomix. But it's definitely a good alternative to use. Definitely a way to fill up your snacks yeah, super easy in the Thermomix. And it's part of that is there a cooking
Process.
quinoa recipe? So actually, I'm not sure if there is one, but this is actually a part of Renee's recipe. Lauren was just asking, is there a cooking quinoa recipe? But it's actually on this part of the recipe.
It's preset.
Preset. But now, Lauren, if you have a TM6, you could actually, so I'm not sure which model you had, but you can actually copy this part of the recipe and create your own cooking quinoa recipe in the Cookie Do options now. So yeah, that's kind of helpful now that we have Cookie Do 3.0. You can definitely do that.
And Renee, quick question: is there a brand of quinoa that you use? Because I've never used it, never eaten it before.
I'll just show you literally what I had in the cupboard, but this is like perfectly cooked.
Yeah.
I never mixed it. I never did anything. I'll just pull it out.
Oh yes, Amanda. Always, yeah, it is. Gluggy is an absolute word. If it's too much water, always in the Thermomix, it is literally perfect, because you remember it hits the perfect heat, the perfect amount of liquid. You actually can't get it wrong.
It's just the
macro brand is good. I've got that one too.
Yeah,
and it's so high in protein as well, so it's really quite filling. It's not just a carb; it's actually really high in protein. So
and it's a whole grain, so it's like you're not going through the processing, which is fantastic. But I'm also a sucker for buying whatever's on special. But I've never had any problems, I have to say, with this bag. Sometimes I find with the tricolor, there might be a bit inconsistency with cooking there.
Thanks, Renee.
Even Costco's got a massive bag of quinoa that I've bought as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And just on that, in terms of cooking, it is a 20-minute cook at 100 degrees. So it's preset in there. So as I said, I'm just skipping across because I didn't want to, we all know how to grate. The boiling process is quite easy for that. Just check out the recipe. No parsley today, and I haven't been able to grow it in the garden. I seem to kill it every time for some reason. But
Same.
Let's start with what we're going to pop in. So we've got some onions. Again, it says green. You can use your shallots, but again, we're just using what we've got around, stuck at home. So 40 grams we're going to pop in.
This is the beauty of the Thermomix. You just use whatever's around. Like, hey, we're all avoiding shops at the moment. I can confidently say that. And this is it. You can make something happen in your Thermomix no matter what you've got, and definitely make adjustments and have snacks and have everything ready. It makes zero difference, really.
Can I just add something as well? So I was making dinner last night and I cut into an eggplant. There was a grub inside. So I couldn't use it. It was disgusting. But yeah, I just used like whatever I had and it worked really well. It was just a pasta. So yeah, so great, isn't it?
Yeah.
So flexible.
So there we go, 40 grams of just chopped onion. I could do that again, but I know it's now going to mince the zucchini that I put in, so I won't bother with that. It's asking for 130 grams. I'm slightly over. I hate wastage. It was just a small zucchini, so I just used the whole lot, just cut off top and tail.
The more the merrier.
Yep, 157, so a little bit over. Pop that lid on. Let's chop that up. So the onion was a 3-second chop.
And with something like this, sorry, Renee, I was
just going to say it's also a 3-second chop. That was all.
Like, not only is this great for Renee's kids, like we always focus on the kids, but this is great for Renee or us to just grab out of the fridge. Like, where's the quinoa? There's our zucchini. Like,
I inhaled these. Like, they're healthy for you, but they are delicious.
Delicious. They are.
Delicious.
And you know what I mean? We focus so much on the kids as well, but it's kind of nice to make sure that we have something to grab out of the fridge, you know, and have for lunch or snacks and stuff like that as well. This is a good one for that.
Yeah. It makes it easy when you can just eat the same food, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to double up.
That's it. If everyone eats it, it makes me happy. The next one is ham. As I said, a little bit of modifying here. I had a little bit of ham, but I just topped it up with bacon. So it's about half there. And again, I'm not wasting, so it was a little bit of extra bacon. Chuck it in, extra flavour.
Yum.
Yeah, they are delicious.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah.
I know, I bribed my 3-year-old. I said, if you go to bed, there's going to be yummy treats when you wake up, because the next one she will be obsessed with, which is some beautiful little coconut balls. So I hope it's going to ask for it all at once. Yeah. So we've got 2 eggs and 2 egg whites. So I've just pre-cracked those. Add those in. Salt and pepper. We always love a little bit of extra flavour. And I probably shouldn't have put the salt in because I have bacon, but it's in there now.
Live life, Renee. Live life. Salty can be okay for you. Live life.
Going with the flow. That's it. We'll add in our reserve cheese, which is a total of 140 with the parmesan and the cheese. As I said, I didn't have parmesan, so I just did extra cheese. We all love a bit of extra cheese in life.
Oh, for sure.
I know I do, and my kids, they'll eat the cheese off things.
Yeah.
We'll add in that beautiful fluffy quinoa now. Trying my best not to end up with it all over the bench.
Lauren, Amanda, if you want to put in the chat if there's particular age of kids or who would be your snack people that you're making for, just so we can focus our ideas for you as well.
All right, let's give it a bit of a zhuzh. Do the hard work for us. It's on reverse blades now, speed 4 for 10 seconds.
It cuts out the sound, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So yeah,
Handy.
just automatically. Renee won't hear a thing, but we can. Yeah.
I'll do some milling later, and it will really cut me out then. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it. That took me no time at all. I have a whole mix there. I'm now just going to transfer it into my silicone tray, and that is it. But it has combined actually perfectly. So I'm just going to transfer this now for you guys.
Amazing.
And then I'll pop it in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes on, again, it's 180 degrees. Were there any questions before we?
No, we just had, Lauren's got kids 10, 8 and 4, and the 4-year-old boy is very fussy. And Lauren, I can 100% relate because my 4-year-old boy is super fussy at the moment. So yeah, I totally hear you. And Amanda's got 3 boys who eat all the time, 3, 5 and 8. Yep, I've got 2 boys too. So you've got a lot of snacks in the freezer that would be handy to have something like this that would potentially fill them up. But yeah, Lauren, I think something like this, the zucchini's hidden, you can get something into them. Yeah, we'll definitely focus in on some hints and tips and stuff like that, because I'm living that.
With this one, you can see the chunks of green, but I've seen Teresa do it before. She will peel her zucchini so the green is hidden, or you could do a double blitz. So there's 2 little tricks you could use there.
100%. So if you peel it off, it's literally so light that they don't even notice. That's been my smoothie trick for my little guy. Yeah, he just will not eat it in hot food. He will eat snow peas and cucumbers, green like that, but no green cooked. So yeah, I hear you. So Renee's filling in there. We're going to keep moving. All good, Renee? Renee's
all good. I'm just going to keep filling.
So what I'm doing today is I'm actually doing the brunch bread. So we were thinking about, what savory stuff, and we really wanted this class to be about what we are actually using in our own kitchens and what we're finding works for our kids and for our families. So the brunch bread, hey, it's not that exciting, but it is a real go-to, okay? It's a different take from the scrolls and things like that. My kids have over scrolls. We've had a Thermomix for 6 years. They've had so many scrolls in their life, they're done, okay? So you have to mix it up for them as well, This has been a great little option for beach trips. It all fits in a container. And my guys have said that they're happy for that to be their sandwich in their lunchbox. So if I can get as much as I can into this brunch bread, unknowingly or knowingly, whatever it might be, that's great. It's just a different take on a scroll, and it's a different take on a sandwich. So we wanted to give you some savory options, and this is our second one. So just going to jump to my other camera here. Now, like the girls have said, brunch bread is on Cookie Doo. it is a great one for adults too. Don't be fooled by the word, you know, it's a great one to take to anywhere, basically. Like it's literally a brunch bread or to a picnic or anything like that. So the dough is done. Now we all know if you follow me, I'm nothing graceful about me, so I'm going to show you my version of this brunch bread. All right, so I'm going to put some tomato paste.
And do you know what I love about the brunch bread, Teresa? You're not making 10, 8, whatever it is, sandwiches, which is really process driven. This is like one item and it covers the whole family. It's got like, it's 6 to 8 serves in it. So it's really time friendly as well, which I think is fantastic.
Absolutely. And I think Amanda and Lauren as well for the boys or the kids, sorry, that my fussy guy loves making this. And I feel like, look, I don't know, we all try everything, but that sense of ownership towards it 100% gets him across the line more so than if I just make it. So look, like I said, nothing major, nothing groundbreaking about this. I'm just going to throw it on, but it works. So just some tomato. Now, what I would normally do is that tomato, instead of using that tomato paste, my trick is to actually make a tomato sauce by blitzing the bejesus out of every vegetable I can find and cooking off a sauce. And then what I do is I freeze it into packs in the freezer and I use that for this exact thing. So there could be a touch of veggies in there, completely hidden because they don't know, but it's in that sauce. All right. And that's a helpful go-to as well.
I love that tip.
Yeah, so I just use that on anything like this, any scrolls, like homemade pizzas that we make, things like that the kids are not aware of, use that sauce. I'm just using some roasted capsicum.
And you could easily make it vegetarian, couldn't you, Teresa?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, you could definitely make it vegetarian. Look, and pick toppings that they like. So my kids love olives. So I just make sure that I put olives in it. And if it tastes like a pizza, they're sold. Hey, olives and cheese, they're sold. And ham.
That's amazing. I wish my kids loved olives.
Well, it's the Italian in them. There's like a little bit.
My kids are olive lovers too. They'll pick off anything.
Yeah. I've got a 1-year-old and I'm just slowly giving him an olive every now and again just to, you know, get him to love them, desensitize him to the flavour.
My husband's like that with chili.
Oh.
Yeah, just keeps giving him chili. I'm like going, you'll be right. It's okay. You'll love it.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys can see I'm
ready to go.
Packed yet that whole mixture in there because they don't rise a great deal. So if you compact them, they also are nice and firm when they're cooked. So give them a little bit of a push down before you pop them in the oven, okay? And that's it. It fills that tray perfectly.
And I'm using pre-grated cheese. How naughty and non-Thermomixy of me. But hey, you got to do what you got to do.
That's right.
Yes, what are we making? It looks like a pizza, doesn't it? You love this, don't you? This is our bread. Remember the one we had at the beach the other day? Yeah. It's so yummy. It's so yummy. Oh, how's the timing? He said it's so yummy.
You could smell
and I didn't tell him to say that.
And kids are honest, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, brutally
I'll tell you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, just wait a second. Okay. So what I'm doing is, and not gracefully, but I'm rolling up. Oh, that's for the yoga. So I'm just rolling it up. Okay. So very much like a scroll. Okay. And I feel like the brunch bread actually rolls up differently. Is it, Renee? I think it says to roll it up differently, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Does it say to roll it up? I feel like the brunch bread, you just put the toppings on one side and then you roll it up from memory.
Yes.
But I've spread it all across.
So it ends up being more of a scroll. Yes.
Yeah. So
I think I did the same.
Oh yeah. And the other thing to do is if you have a dough mat, which we love and we're obsessed with, definitely handy for this because you can roll it. Now, the difference is from a scroll is you actually just make it into a Yes, into a circle.
Well done.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And it's-
That's what I know me.
It is.
And I don't feel.
It is. See, flexible work experience, ladies. With the kids around. This is why we've joined the business. Because we can have the kids here and still do our work. Okay, so I'm putting this on our rose gold. Wish me luck.
Yeah, the lift is always the scariest.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Beautiful.
Now, I
Looks
think
great, Freezer.
yeah, so it's filled with stuff, and then you just basically cut it into little sections like that and throw it into the lunch boxes, and they can grab it with their hands. So I think the brunch bread has an egg wash with sesame seeds, but I'm just going to leave it at that for today. But another tip that you could potentially do with the sauce that is also blitzed spinach or something like that, all that zucchini, and you could also spread that. So once the kids, Amanda and I found once the kids kind of love the idea, then okay, 1 second, darling. I think once the kids, once they start loving something, like to hear him, that's the fussy one. He's connected with it. He loves it. And then I just start like putting in stuff as much as I can, like to build up the veggies and stuff like that. All right. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to put that in the oven. And Meg is going to show you some cookies.
Yeah.
That looks so good, Teresa. I think I'm going to make that after this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I haven't made that one
such
yet.
a winner.
Yeah.
It's a winner.
No,
and
I'll
it's just
definitely make
something different. Yeah. Brunch bread.
Yeah.
And it looks impressive, you know, like take it to a picnic and everyone will be like, oh, wow, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, you know
exactly.
me, like clearly there's nothing delicate about me. I'm like whip it together. It's close enough, good enough. But people think like, oh, that's so impressive you made that. I'm all about it. That's why I own a Thermomix. All right,
So,
in the oven. Go for it, Meg.
Yeah, so I'm going to make something sweet. So we've had some lovely savoury options. I'm going to make apple, banana and macadamia nut cookies. So it's actually not on Cookie Do. It's from this cookbook here by Louise Fulton Keats. I just got it from the library. But what I would do if you're interested is I'm going to create a recipe on Recipe Community, just my variation of it. So it's not copyright, and pop that up there. And then, of course, with Cookie Do 3.0, you can upload that onto your machine. And then you can use the guided cooking option with that. So super easy.
But Meg, just to clarify, the beauty of that cookbook, it's actually a thermo-converted one, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So it's Thermomix cooking for your baby and toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's normalize eating baby and toddler food, right?
Yes.
I'm always eating my kids' food. So I've got a 6-year-old girl, Mika, and a 13-month-old baby. So I need, you know, some like low sugar snacks for the kids. And there's some really good stuff in here, actually. So these cookies make about 25 to 30. And they honestly take no time at all, like less than 5 minutes tops. They're so good and full of amazing ingredients. So I'll go through those with you. And they're
a good one to freeze, yeah? Good one to freeze?
Perfect for freezing.
Yeah. We love that.
Yeah. So I just put a layer down and then I put some baking paper and then another layer just so it doesn't stick. I'm sure you already know that though. That's what we all probably do. So I've preheated the oven to 180 already and just lined 2 baking trays. I don't have the gorgeous rose gold baking trays yet. But
not yet. Not yet.
Soon. Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. And I've already blitzed some nuts. So because I don't have macadamia nuts, I've just used almonds today. Previously, I've used cashews and that's worked fine. So let's hope almonds are good too. I think you can't go too wrong when you're just substituting different nuts or seeds. So that's been chopped just for a couple of seconds. I actually increased the time just because I've got a baby and I don't want big chunks of nuts in the cookies. So I pretty much milled it at speed 8 for about 10 seconds, I think it was. So again, I'll put my variation of the recipe up on Recipe Community because I've adapted this one a little bit. I've got some apples here. Now, does anyone have one of these?
No, but do I need one? Because I'm a sucker for like things like that.
A little gadget? Yeah, no, these are great. I just got it from Aldi. You know when they have the special buys?
Yeah.
Yeah, really cheap, but I use it pretty much every day. You know, kids' lunch boxes, it cores the apple. There's a little hole there for the core, and it slices them into quarters, or eighths, sorry, into eighths. So I just throw that into the bowl. So we're going to use manual mode.
No.
So apple into the mixing bowl. And so it's...
I was going to say, no, keep going. Sorry, I'm all good.
No worries. So we're just chopping for 2 seconds and speed 6.
I was going to say that what I'll do is, now that we've had 3.0 for a while, I'll run a cookie do session in the next couple of weeks as well, just to help you be able to manually put in your recipes. I'll run a session like that again. But that could help with something like with Meg's recipe, where you can find things in recipe books and absolutely put them onto recipe community with adjustments. Yeah, so good. So that's the chopped apple there. 2 seconds, too easy.
2 seconds, I know.
Blows
I
me
don't
away.
need to show you. You guys have seen this, haven't you? Next, we're just putting the butter and the sugar into the mixing bowl. So we're going in with 130 grams of butter, just chopped up. And then I've just got some brown sugar that's going in. So I'll just grab a spoon. Now it says 60 grams. With 60 grams, it's actually not too sweet. Maybe a little bit sweet for babies. So I might just reduce that a touch. So I'm going to swipe left. So I'm on the home screen. I'm going to swipe left and go to scales, just so I can access that. And we'll pop in 40 grams.
Now, Meg, I know what you're like making all your staples. Is that one of your own homemade brown sugars?
It is actually, yeah. So this is the dark brown sugar on Cookie Dough. Really easy to make. It's literally just raw sugar and molasses, and it's mixed. So it's not milled like the white sugar or caster sugar or icing. You just kind of mix it in with the molasses. And I'm pretty sure molasses is actually really good for you, especially the blackstrap. It's got lots of vitamins in it. So it's a good option, and probably a lot cheaper than buying. So we've got apple, butter, sugar in there. And we'll go back to the manual mode. So I just exit that and swipe left or right.
Swipe across.
5 seconds. And we're just going to mix at speed 4 to 5. So we'll just do speed 4. So that's just creaming. Yeah, so that's just creaming the butter and the sugar. And I love these biscuits because they're really, they've got so many good health benefits. Like they're really high in fiber from the banana, the oats, the apple, and you can use, I'm using a wholemeal spelt flour. So, you know, that adds more fiber, sorry. So full of antioxidants as well, all the ingredients. You know, oats are actually really rich in antioxidants. And as is cinnamon, which I'm going to use. This is a superfood. Yeah, it's just that, you know, humble cinnamon, but it's actually such a good, good superfood. So
I'm definitely going to make these.
I know, I was just thinking about all the fiber
and all the goodness that we can at the moment. So if we can get these into the kids and to ourselves, because who's not going to be able to eat these?
Exactly.
But they sound so cheeky and yum.
Yeah, still the immunity through food, 100%. Yeah.
So we're just going in with 1 medium banana. So I'm just breaking that up. So again, bananas are really rich in fiber. That 1 banana actually has 3 grams of fiber, which is quite a lot. I think you need about like 30 to 40 grams a day. Don't quote me, maybe 30, 35. So yeah, you're getting close to that point. with the banana. So I'm terrible at multitasking, aren't I? I'm just like trying to talk and cook. Okay, so that's one banana. We're adding 30 grams of milk. Now, if you want to make this vegan, you can just use a nut milk and sub the butter for coconut oil as well. So that's really easy. I'm just using soy milk because that's what I've got. So 30 grams going in. There we go, 31. And we're just going to mix that. So 10 seconds, speed 4. So we'll go back 10 seconds, speed 4. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
You can? Okay.
Yep.
You can also, if you need to make these gluten-free as well, you can use, I haven't done this before, but I just saw some cookies using this flour. So it's extra fine sorghum flour or extra fine brown rice flour. So I think that would work pretty well if you needed to make them gluten-free for a friend or for your family.
And you could make the rice flour in your Thermomix. So just using brown rice or normal rice, you could absolutely just whip that up quickly.
Yeah, so
I love so much. It's so expensive to buy those, you know, unique rices, and it's just their extra meal, and it's like to do it on your bench and save that money. Blows my mind.
And if you only need just, you know, like a small quantity at a time, you can do that. You don't have to buy a whole bag and then you know, never use it again, or
100%.
So we're just going to add the remaining ingredients now. So we'll add the nuts, the milled nuts, and some flour. So it says 80 grams of self-raising flour and 110 grams of wholemeal self-raising. So I don't normally have self-raising flour at home. I just tend to add baking powder. And so I'll give you the ratio for that because it's really simple. It's just 1 cup or 150 grams of flour to 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So we've got about 200 grams of flour or close to. So I'll just do a little bit more than 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So again, and I'll show you how it looks as well. So it's all mixed and then the nuts have been added there. Again, adding more goodness, aren't we, with the wholemeal spelt flour?
Yeah.
And I like using different grains. Sorry, Renee?
No, I was going to say I've converted lately because we're having problems with my daughter's digestive system, and I found the wholemeal flour is just so much better for you.
Yeah. And sometimes I find with wholemeal flour, it can make baked goods a little bit dense or dry.
Okay.
But if you try spelt, it actually adds, they become really fluffy and moist. Of course, it depends on which wholemeal flour you use, but I find, spelt flour is really good for baking. Yeah. I swear by it. It's amazing. Yeah.
I'll take your word, that's for sure, because I've seen how much you bake. Baking queen.
Too much living in the kitchen, don't I? So we're going with 190 grams of this flour. So of course, if you know, you don't have wholemeal spelt, you can just use wholemeal or white. It'll still work really well with the biscuit. So that's added. Let's see what else. We need some oats. There you go, more fiber, low GI. Oops, got to go to my scales. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to brush the flour off my Thermomix. Let's just, has anyone got one of these?
Yeah, the best tool.
The double-ended brush, they're amazing, aren't they? Okay, there we go. Now my scales are listening to me. So we're putting in 100 grams of rolled oats. And I love using oats.
I love using oats too.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's a nice change from just wheat, I find. It's a little bit different. That's a nice nuttiness. Oats. and with the cinnamon. Okay. So cinnamon is chock full of antioxidants. It is.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite high in fiber as well. So 1 teaspoon is about 1.4 grams of fiber. So if you're adding, a teaspoon to your smoothie every day with a banana, with some fruit, some LSA, like you're hitting that fiber target really easily. I rave on about fiber. Like everyone loves protein, but like fiber is seriously the key to good health, I feel. Feeds all those gut bacteria.
Yeah.
And we know how important gut health is for our immune system. So that's half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Don't need to go overboard with that. And we go.
You like selling these biscuits as like the health. I'm like, I'm going to eat 45 of them a day because
they're healthy.
Picture of health.
That's
I'm
right.
So healthy.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, evening snack. And if you do
really
want to make it a little bit, sorry.
Lauren just said that you're a wealth of knowledge, and I said we definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I just feel like, food is the best medicine, for your body. It really is. Okay, where are we up to? So.
And it is, I guess it goes back to that, our bodies are temples, that it's, what you put in them, isn't it?
Precisely, 100%. Now, I've forgotten the baking powder, so I'm just going to add that now. And baking powder is something you can make in your Thermomix. Has anyone made baking powder before?
No, because I made pancakes this morning. I had no baking powder, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Didn't even think to make it in a Thermomix.
Yeah, no, it requires I think 3 ingredients.
Yeah.
I think rice flour, bicarb soda, and is it cream of tartar? Have you?
Yes. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's the Play-Doh stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You put it in Play-Doh. Yeah. I remember after watching you make, I was like, oh my God, you can make baking powder.
Yeah. It's nuts how many pantry staples you can make. It's incredible, isn't it?
And I love it that you're such a staple maker. It really inspires me. I'm often like, oh no, I know you can make that because I've seen it done.
Oh, yay. I love hearing that. And it's so quick to do, isn't it? Okay, so back manual mode, and we're just going to mix for 10 seconds, speed 4. There we go. Yep. Yeah, that was probably one of the main reasons why I got a Thermomix, was so that I could make my own pantry staples. Honestly, make my own flours, baking powder, peanut butter, almond butter, because then you know exactly what's going in your food, don't you?
Yeah. That's why we bought that. That's why we bought these machines. Yeah,
exactly.
I can see Marie's just asked for a healthy recommendation on ice cream, and I know Meg is a lover of the avocado and banana ice creams.
That is a good one. Yeah, for sure. I feel like banana and ice cream is just so perfect because it adds that creaminess and it's really healthy. Another good one is I've just come across this, the banana tofu. I don't think it's called banana tofu ice cream though.
No, I saw you make it the other day.
Tofu in it. And seriously, it is the bomb. It's just delicious.
That's a very big call, man.
High in protein.
It's a very big call to pull tofu in an ice cream. I'm going to make it and pull, see what it's like.
Yeah, give it a review. You won't be disappointed.
And look, Marie, the basic banana one is delicious. Like, honestly, there's a banana one. If it's frozen banana, that's a delicious, nice cream. Like, it really is.
Yeah. And you can add whatever fruit you like to it as well, can't you? Like, do banana and berry, do banana and cinnamon. So many variations. I love ginger, so I'm often putting ginger in things. Might be a bit weird for some people in an ice cream though, so I won't go into that, but I am who I am.
Nah, I love ginger too. So many health benefits as well with the ginger.
Sure. Now I'm just going to grab my baking tray.
I keep
And-
getting distracted and looking behind me, but I can smell those muffins. They're so rich.
Oh,
That savory cheese and bacon smell. Mm.
so all I'm
Nothing
gonna
better.
do is get my mechanical ice cream scoop. I use this all the time and just scoop mixtures of this, spoonfuls, and then place it onto my tray. That's
Oh, so they're
literally
quite decent
I might give it
size.
a little love tap. And that's it. It is a good size actually.
Really good size cookie. Do they flatten out much, Meg, once cooked?
Not really, no. So you can place them close together as well,
Yeah.
and fit lots on a tray.
Handy to know.
Yeah, I leave about that
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
But I love that it's a real decent, like it's a cookie. It's a good size.
Yeah, and it does honestly taste like a cookie, like it tastes nice and sweet. Yeah, it doesn't, you know how some of these health foods can taste really health foody and you're just like, it's not really hitting the spot. But yeah, these taste like a cookie. And you could even add like chopped up white chocolate or something through it if you want, you know, a nice, sneaky, cheeky evening snack.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're the biscuits. I'll keep going
Beautiful.
with this. And I think
Now it
Renee?
is Renee with her.
Me.
Yep.
next. Yeah.
So I
And
guess
just
on
a
the
time
thing,
check, girls. We've got 1:20. So let's see if we can.
I know this is
Yeah.
super quick, but so you've got to keep your eyes open for this because it is really quick. These are, coconut almond snowballs. Again, another cookie dough recipe. And again, I'm doing a little variation, so I'll walk you through that. The first thing it asks you to do is to weigh out some coconut, which I've just done in a container, and I'm actually going to pour onto the plate. This is for the rolling process at the end. So the first step, really, you don't need to do. You could just pop it on the bench or in a tray and roll and add the coconut as required. So I asked for 210 grams, which is a huge amount. You probably won't need that. And you just set that aside, and you need a tray. I'm not going to use a tray. I'm just going to use a plate. My trays are too big to get into the fridge. So, you know, personal judgment there. The next one, it asks for blanched almonds. Now, this is where we actually had a conversation about this last night. Teresa buys, I don't mean to throw you under bus this one. Teresa buys her blanched almonds, but I actually blanch them myself. So just almonds in a pot of water, they puff up and you literally pop off the skin. We actually looked at the price difference, and it's a substantial price difference.
Substantial price difference.
Like
Oh,
30, it was like
It was like
$30 to
something
buy.
to $17. Yeah.
Yeah, $17 for the raw almonds, and yeah, 33 for
And I'm
black.
all for saving the dollars. So I blanched a few myself, but it asks for 40. I'm actually going to put in 80 grams because at the end of the recipe, what it asks you to do is to get one nut and wrap your mixture around the nut. Now, that's all well and good for us adults, but I've got kids, so I don't want them choking on these bad boys. So I just thought I'm going to add the extra 40 grams into the mix, and I'll just roll them into balls. So that's just a little modification I've done there. So I'll pop these in just over. I'll just leave it. It's 92. Not going to waste them. Then we're going to add in 225 grams of white chocolate. Now, this is the cheeky part. I'm just going to, that's the oven that dips. So I'm just going to take these muffins out. Look how delish they look. Nice and golden brown around the edges. Yeah.
But the silicone to pop them out will be so much easier. Having to imagine trying to get that soft quinoa. It can be quite soft until it firms up. To get that out, impossible. Well,
I'll let them cool off, and I'll show you at the end the little pop out, which is so easy. So going back to this, we're asked for 225 grams of white chocolate buttons. Now, this might get quite noisy because we're going to mill it. It asks for 20 grams of brown sugar. I thought there's probably enough sugar in that chocolate. I don't really need to add the extra brown sugar, so I'm just going to omit straight away. We asked then for 80 grams of, so this is additional to the first weigh out. So this is 80 grams of desiccated coconut. 82, pretty good on the measuring. I'll pop the lid on. And this is why we have 2 jugs. So this is my second jug. I didn't have to clean it. I do have 2 jugs. So when those jug offers come out,
protein balls or balls like this are so simple in the Thermomix. It's ridiculous. You could literally put anything in it and it would still work.
look how beautiful and soft that is. So that's just almond, coconut, and chocolate, and it's just powdery. I don't even need to scrape down. It's so loose in there. I then ask for some coconut cream. 60 grams. Oh, totally over. Skip that. I'm terrible at pouring liquid in.
What did you pour over?
I put in coconut cream. The reason why I purposely took it out is I'm just conscious that I'm rolling balls. So I'm worried about consistency, or else I would have left it.
Okay.
Coconut oil, it asks for 3 tablespoons. So I think I'm going to say I've got like 2 in here. This is the dregs of a jar. I might actually do it with a spatula, and I don't think I will need to add. I do have a little bit of coconut oil that's liquid form. Maybe I'll add a drop. I'm conscious that I don't want them to be too liquidy and not form nicely. So that's it. Pop the lid on. So if you want something super quick, you're happy to give them something that's probably a little bit more cheeky with the chocolate in there. This is definitely one of those little sweet treats, but it's got the coconut and the almonds in there, which is also beneficial to our health. So it's going to mix for 2 minutes.
It's nearly ready. Steve's looking for the brunch bread.
Oh, smells good.
Told you it was a winner. I told you it was a winner.
I'm loving all these ideas. This is what I'll be doing over the weekend, is making brunch bread and quinoa muffins, or even throughout the week.
Me too.
Mm.
It's 2 weeks till school starts, so we need to fill those freezers up. Even if it's an after-school snack, yeah. I've been known to make a big batch of Brazilian cheese puffs too and take them to after school. Like, in the car, they're starving. Make a big batch of Brazilian cheese puffs and take them along. Always a winner.
Yeah.
The school mums love them too, just saying.
Yeah.
So just preparing my plates for rolling, some coconut and a spare one.
Well, maybe I'll start the yogurt just to get things moving, because we're nearly at an hour and I'm mindful of the time. So while Renee's doing that, so I'm not going to make as such because yogurt is such a long process. So Renee, I'm starting just while is that all right? But I get this question a lot on my Instagram, and I think it's perfect timing to show it off. So these are the little cinchies that I use. And so when I make yogurt for the kids, I actually make my own yogurt and then ferment them in here. So it's always a bit of a question about how to do that. So I was just looking up on Recipe Community because there is a few alternatives. I love the natural yogurt one that is on Cookie Dough. That is my go-to. That is the one I use. But I thought today we'll check out a bit of a quick version of it. And this one is from Recipe Community, and I just added it to my Cookie Dough 3.0. So I'm going to created recipes, and it's actually called, Soft, easy vanilla yogurt. And she actually has the cinchies in the photo. So there you go. So that's what I'm doing today. Just starting up. Oh, Renee, do you want to show? Oh, you're on mute, love.
Yeah, just before I continue on, I'll just show you because it heats it up to 50 degrees. So it makes it into quite a sort of a paste.
Oh, that's so good.
Coconut oil in there. So it's a paste. But now what happens is you add in 40 grams of rice bubbles. So you could take these out if you chose to. But there's 40 grams of rice bubbles. So I'll pop those in.
I like it as a paste. Sometimes I hate rolling balls, to be honest.
Yeah. And then we're just going to pop in a bit more. So that's why it's pasty. So I'm going to add in some coconut again. So it will help to absorb that liquid in there. So 150 grams. Oh, might steal some off my plate. I weighed it out and then I was like, I should have just used the bag. There we go. And that's it. It will mix again. And when it comes out, I will just quickly show you the consistency and then I'll start to roll it. So it's going to go for 40 seconds to combine that. And it's just doing reverse blades. So over to you then again, Teresa.
If you've been in the chat, right, if you've actually attempted a 3.0, like a cookie dough or anything like that, just throw it in the chat to see if you've tried anything new. Okay, so the first step on this one, on this soft yogurt, is asking for sugar. I'm skipping that. My kids are well accustomed. This is the one thing I don't need sugar for. So I'm gonna skip that. This next step says it needs milk powder. Now, I had a dilemma when I realized this morning I have got no milk powder, but Meg assures me that I don't need it. Is that true, Meg?
I've never used milk powder.
So there you go. So we're doing a Meg special. We'll see how we go. And then got scared. Never done yoga, but started researching. Oh, Lauren, it is a game changer and it will save a lot of dollars in your wallet. So it's super easy, and that's what I'm going to show you now because it's something I get often asked on Instagram, and it's super easy. All right, so I'm adding 120 grams of hot set yogurt. So I'm just using YoPro because that's literally all I had in the fridge. So popping that in. Yeah, the Gelner one is also a really good option. We're doing a litre of full cream milk. So this one is, now the one on Cookie Dough uses just normal milk. It heats it up and then you allow it to cool down, okay? And then you do this process. To skip that part, to make it even quicker, you use long life milk because that pasteurized, like that step is kind of like not required because you're using long life milk, okay? It just makes the process quicker. So we're going to add all of this long life milk. So it's a litre. Now, this is something that you need to do when you don't require your machine, all right? So I'm going to fill in my cinchies. I'm going to put them away and then do this process tonight when I'm asleep so that it doesn't, I've got 2 Thermomixes and I'm not willing to lose either one at all during the day, okay? So madness, but if you know, you know. And then we're using 15 grams of vanilla extra. So that will give it that vanilla flavor. That's enough because my kids are pretty much used to that natural set. Okay, next step is it's actually going to heat this off for 10 minutes, 40 degrees, speed 3. Okay, so you can see a cookie dough recipe, a recipe community recipe. I've plugged it in. I'm not having to put in the specifics. All right, so that's going to heat that up to 40 degrees. Then what I do, okay, and you won't need to wait the 10 minutes, is the bottom of these cinchies, they open up like that, okay? Now I attempted both. So I used to cement the yogurt at the bottom of the jug and then scoop it in. Nightmare, too hard, okay? You lose a lot. It's very hard to get them into these little things. So now what I do is, after this process, I'm going to fill each cinchie up using this little funnel, okay? I'm going to close it off with the yogurt. And then using my Varoma, I'm going to place them all into the Varoma like that. Okay. Then I'm going to go to Cookie Dough, the Varoma method, okay, of the natural yogurt, which will fill this part with water. You'll put some lemon into the base to prevent any rusting, basically. And then I'm going to place my Varoma at the top. Then that is going to ferment for 6 to 10 hours, depending if you want to just do the 6 like in this recipe or the 10 that it normally does. And you let that sit overnight. Once it's finished, you will have your yogurt set in here and it goes straight into the fridge. And there you go, throw these in the lunch boxes and the kids can grab them. And you've just saved yourself about $30 a week, quite honestly. And Amanda with the kids, I'm sure, and Lauren, it all adds up. What is the name of the, oh, so these are, look, there's many out on the market. These are just the ones I happen to buy and I'm happy with them. They're called thin cheese and they're fairly reasonably priced too. And they do the damage, they do well. The only thing is the kids can lose they'll see I've got alternative lids there. Yeah, it was funny because Luca's first day at prep, he had his yogurt in his thing and he came home and he was a bit upset because his teacher had thrown the lid because his teacher doesn't understand, Mummy, that Mummy makes yogurt and that was not to throw out. This was homemade. Like he was devastated that the lid went. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably the only thing, but he's really good. He brings them home now. But yeah, so that's what you do. That's very, you smell something? Yeah, it's cooking in the oven. So there you go, yogurt very quickly. All right. So you do the process here, fill them up into the Varoma and then ferment them at the top using the Varoma method. Any questions about the yogurt before I jump off? And we go to Meg really quickly. Vicky?
Yeah, quick question. I don't have young kids. I've got a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old. The 15 loves yogurt and I'm also afraid of making it. When you ferment it, could I ferment it in a jar? Could that also be the same process? Yeah.
In them. Yep.
Yeah.
So you could use these from the mixture. Exactly the same process. So you just need to use the Varoma natural yogurt set, like in your in Cookie Dough.
Yep.
Hang on, Leon. And absolutely in that. I've done that before too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's even ones that has berries at the bottom, so you could have like.
I've done the compo ones. They're fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So please don't be afraid of it because once you've done it once, once it's mixed it all up, you literally do nothing.
Done.
Yeah.
Right? You'll be blown away and you'll be like, oh, I've just saved myself so much.
And do you also keep some of your first batch as a starter for your second batch?
I did.
You can stop the kids from eating it.
Yeah, and I found if I wasn't consistent, then the batch was left too long and I was a bit icky with that. I'm a bit delicate with that stuff. So I literally just make sure I just buy one of these and I figure, and it makes stacks anyway. So yeah, just for my
no, fair enough.
But I did originally, but then I feel like I left it a little bit too long and then it went rank and then I was like, oh, I'm not doing that again. So
and Maria asked about the berries. Do you put them in before you ferment the yogurt?
Yeah.
Yep. So you do your berry mix first, pour it in across all of them, and then you top up with your yogurt mix. You've just got to be careful sometimes if you're pouring a bit too rough, let's say, or it drops in heavily, it can just discolor your beautiful white yogurt. But that's just to be, you can put a spoon in there, just to be mindful of that. These are great from the mix shop. If you use standard small jars, you're sort of really only going to fit 5 in there. So these are really nimble and you can get, I think it's 6 or 8. Yeah.
And they're quite reasonably priced. But Lauren, anything that's like that full set of yogurt, I think that's the best to use, like a Jalna, like those, those pot set ones are the best starters. But please, if you do it, tag us in it because I'd love to see how you go, because yogurt, it's like one of those things, once you've done it once, you'll be sold. All right. So definitely give it a go. Sorry, I hope that was.
Sorry, I'm just going to jump on quickly because I can hear Flossie crying. So these are the little muffins, and I'm just going to show you. They literally, can you just see that? And I'm just pushing out.
Yeah.
Just pushing underneath. So if I just pop out a few of these. Oh, that's a little floss.
I can hear it too.
Yeah.
So that's Those beautiful little.
They're so cute.
They look great.
I'll
I
pop
like
some
the height
photos
on
up.
them as well.
Yeah, and that's if you really compact them, they stay nice and firm.
Yeah.
And just so you can see consistency, that's what the mix looks like. You would think it's probably not firm enough, but they roll perfectly, and that's what they are looking like. So that's just
wow.
roll and then coconut rolled. Remember, the recipe did say put the almond in, then the mixture around. I didn't do that for choking hazards. And if you don't want the extra crunch in there, just add it in, and it worked perfectly.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
So that's it.
Nice one.
They look great.
Perfect.
Yum.
Now I'm just going to mute myself so I can go pick her up and she'll come watch.
Yeah.
This is a brunch bread, but I'm going to let it cool down a bit and then chop it up. But good. Meg's going to quickly go through gummies. Sorry, everyone, we've gone over time, but she's just going to quickly go through how to make some gummies, and then we'll be done. All right?
Yeah. I'm just rubbing my biscuits out so they don't burn. They probably need a little bit longer, but that's how they look.
Oh, they look good.
So, and you can even sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top. It says that in the recipe. I didn't do that, but yeah, you can always do that. So I'll just pull the other tray out as well. Okay, so I'll try and be really quick with this. I'm going to make some fruit juice gummies. My daughter loves these. They're basically like lollies for her. And they're so delicious. I like them too. So first step is to grease a silicone mold, but I don't do that. I don't. They pop out really easily out of the silicone molds. These are just from Kmart, I think. I got them off Marketplace, so I'm not actually sure, but there's definitely molds similar to this at Kmart, really cheap. So first step would be to place a bowl. So you can either place the bowl on the mixing bowl lid, or if you're not going to spill anything, you know, sometimes I just put a bowl just right onto the machine there. So we're weighing in. I'm going to halve the recipe because I already made some last night, so I'll show you the product at the end. Now, this is an American recipe, so it's in ounces, but it doesn't matter, it just weighs it, converts it easily. So 2 ounces of fruit juice. I'm using, well, it's meant to be just apple juice, but it's actually apple with sweet potato and yellow carrot.
Oh.
Yes, because this is a Woolies substitute. They must have run out of apple juice, and you get some funny substitutes these days, I'm finding, when you do the click and collect with Woolies. Had some interesting
ones.
Yeah, interesting ones. This is pretty interesting, I feel. It's like a vegetable juice as opposed to an apple juice.
There's probably like 0.1% like sweet potato in that. Like, can you imagine?
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can claim it. They can claim that it's in it.
Oh, 29% actually.
Is it? Like,
yeah.
what juice is in a sweet potato?
Yeah, strange.
Bizarre.
So bizarre. Now I've got this beautiful natural gelatin, and it's from Nutra Organics. It's a bit more costly, but this one doesn't contain any preservatives, and it's grass-fed and high in protein. So I like to use this one, and it comes in a pack of 500 grams, so it goes a long way. So I'm just going to. So the recipe says to add 6 packets of gelatin. 1 packet of gelatin is 7 grams of gelatin powder. So, and I'm halving it. So I'm going to add 21 grams of gelatin to this fruit juice.
Amanda just wrote that she uses that gelatin too.
Sorry?
Amanda wrote that she uses that gelatin as well.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? And it doesn't have much of an odor, because you know some gelatins can have like a bit of a smell to it. It's quite good. It doesn't really have that. Now, because I'm not adding packets, I'm just going to have to go out and go into scales. So just going to swipe and go into scales. So 21 grams. I'm just going to carefully. Maybe I should have done this on the lid. Should be fine. So 19. And so we're just going to let the gelatin bloom with the juice. And what that means is it's just absorbing the gelatin, and it actually only takes 30 seconds, so it doesn't take long at all. So we just let that, we mix it in. It says to whisk it, but you can just use a spoon. Same result. And we go back into the recipe that's been bookmarked. So there's the gelatin mixture. Now, next we're just going to place 6 ounces of fruit juice. I went a little bit over. With gelatin, I should probably be a bit more exact. I'm just going to pour a little bit in there. Yeah, that should be fine. 6.4. Now it says to add sugar. I don't add sugar. I find the fruit juice is sweet enough, and citric acid as well. So I think that would just be to add a kind of like fizzy, sort of sherbety flavour perhaps to it. It works without it, so I don't bother with that. So all you need is 2 ingredients, and then all we're going to do is heat that to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't actually know how hot that is. I'm sorry. But the little marker is just before halfway. So
Oh, it's hot, buddy. It's still hot.
70 degrees maybe. So 4 minutes, speed 2. So it's just warming that up. And then after that, I'm just going to add this congealed gelatin, mix it, and then pour it into the molds. It is so simple.
Meg, do you want to show us your finished product?
I will, yeah. I'll grab it from the fridge.
That bit is perfect. There you go. So you can see I'm just filling up my yogurt as well.
And here it is. So
It's so cute.
Pop out as well. Look at that. They just pop out and they're gorgeous little gummies. So we've got hearts. And then for my girl, she loves unicorns, of course. So we've got little unicorn ones. These are tricky though. The little horns don't always pop out easily, but they make her happy. So
Meg, are they easy to chew? Are they
Sorry?
easy to chew? Easy to chew?
Yeah,
They're not like
firmer. It's a bit like a gummy lolly, I guess. Like it's a firm jelly. Not sure if you can see.
But nothing to worry about. Nothing that you would worry about.
No,
if you're
I don't
eating?
think so. Like you wouldn't give it to a baby. I wouldn't give this to Arlo, my 13-month-old. Maybe I'd probably chop it up if I give it to him. But you know, you just got to be careful with babies. But yeah, definitely safe for young kids.
I am definitely putting that on my list.
Yeah,
do it.
that sounds
Definitely.
great.
I'm just going to add real quick. So gelatin is amazing for your body. So it basically supports your intestinal wall by sealing your gut, which helps you absorb those nutrients a bit more easily. And of course, you know, gut health, you know, heavily linked to immune health. So
Absolutely, yep.
yeah, try and have as much gelatin as you can in your diet through making these gummies.
We're all going to order it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Meg.
Yeah.
I love that. Definitely going to give that a go because,
Yeah.
yep, definitely.
And it's
Vicky-
honestly so quick to make.
Oh, super quick. What was the recipe called, Meg? Meg?
Fruit juice gummies on Cookie Dough. Yeah, so it's from the it's a American collection. Oh, it doesn't have it on here, but on your phone, on the app, it'll tell you what collection it comes from. But it's like
So
coming back to
just
candy. Crazy.
Make
candy.
sure that your filters are open and you should be able to find them quite easily.
Yeah, and if you need any help with the filters, yeah, just contact one of us. We'll be happy to help. Yeah.
There's the yogurt in the jar, so I just filled them up
Oh, they look great.
and just in the
I love the squishy idea.
Yeah.
just throw them in.
So good
I'll
for
put them all.
travel.
Wait a second. It's not ice cream, it's yogurt. It does look like ice cream. It does.
So when you ferment, do you put the lid on it while it's fermenting,
Yes.
or do you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And the other one is you can actually ferment in your varoma. No?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
In
yeah,
your
that's what we-
thermoserver. The white thermoserver
yep.
fits in the varoma. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's what I was getting to. So you can just make
Mm.
like a massive container and then transfer to your yogurt jars, which fit in the exact amount, and then you can fridge it and it's
Yep.
So that batch has made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like over 12, 8 pinchies, the jars, that's stacks, that's heaps. Oh, I just saw another pinchy. Doesn't matter. So yeah, so there you go. But,
and you'll ferment that tonight.
Yeah, so I'll put them in the Varoma tonight. So I'll post it tomorrow, so you can definitely check it out. Sorry, we went a bit over time. I was like, 45 minutes, we've got this.
I know.
But, hey, we filled you up with all this extra information, and hey, hopefully it was well worth your time. I hope that it helped. I know I've got a lot of ideas. Marie loved it. Thank you so much, Maria. We really appreciate you coming on, and yes, hopefully it helped and gave you some ideas, and I hope everyone's feeling better soon as well.
Yes. No more.
So great. Thank you, Lauren. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for coming
you.
along.
Thanks.
Take care, everyone.
Lots of ideas. So thank you very much. Even as I said, I've got
Lovely.
teenagers, so it's something that I can use for myself as a teacher to take some healthy snacks to school as well.
100%.
So
Yeah,
the gummies will
definitely.
be good for the bigger kids too. Like they can just nibble at them and.
well,
I can't wait for the gummies.
I'm a diabetic, and so when I have low sugar levels, I eat snakes. But those gummies, because of the juice in them, would do the same benefits.
thing.
So
great
yeah,
idea.
Without the nasties.
And you
That's
can
what I
add the
love.
sugar.
yeah, I
Add
could
the
add the
sugar
sugar,
as well.
and it's better to be made by myself rather than all the yucky stuff that's in those packets of snakes.
Yeah.
So
It's all
yeah,
those numbers and things that I'm like, I've got no idea what that is. But
no.
yeah, you can get them out. That's
Meg,
it.
what was the gelatin again that you had in the brown bag?
Yeah, so it's from Nutra Organics.
I'll just pin you up. Nutra Organics. Yep. And
Organics.
do you get that online?
I actually got it at a local food store, but you can get it online.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a website.
Yeah. If you look
Excellent.
them up, there's a few stock
Variations of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Thanks, Amanda,
Awesome.
for joining. We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Amanda.
Okay, thanks, ladies.
Bye.
Thank you very much. See ya.
Thanks,
Bye.
Vicky. See
Bye.
you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mama.
I'll stop the recording.
I'm still rolling.